I got a joke for you. Stop me if you've heard this one. Grand Island, Nebraska school system seems to think that a finger can be a loaded weapon. A hand and a finger can be a loaded weapon. Yeah, because they have a problem with a 3-year-old boy who's deaf and needs to use sign language. Can't have a loaded finger. Well, Grand Island, Nebraska, I have a loaded finger for you too. 2 of them. Loaded fingers for you.
Average Dude has something to say about
a deaf 3-year-old by the name of Hunter Spanjer, and he's in preschool in Grand Island, Nebraska, and his parents were told that he needed to change the way that he signed, with sign language, his name, because it violates Grand Island's Weapons in Schools Board Policy number 8470, which forbids any instrument that looks like a weapon. I'll get to that later on. But hey, let's go over some of the history of this. This took a lot of digging because it seemed like certain stories had some information and others had more. That's usually how it is when you try to get to the heart of the matter. His grandmother's indicating that she didn't understand why this was happening because Hunter has used the name sign since he was 6 months old. That's when the school district started working with him. This is according to the grandmother, but school spokesman Jack Sheard, who had a prepared statement, of course it was prepared when all this shit went down, the school district teaches American Sign Language, ASL. Okay, then why in the world did you go with SEE, Sign Exact English? I'm willing to believe the family on this one because seriously, when your kid is born deaf with a disability and you don't want to be at a disadvantage, you don't have a lot of options. It's not like you go into the school district and you have a lot of choices. I'm betting that the family's right on this one, that this school district started teaching SEE, but we'll find out. I'm sure that one will come out in a matter of time. But yeah, Jack Sheard said the school district teaches American Sign Language. Really? It shouldn't matter what. Here's the thing about sign language, people, for those of you who don't understand. Just as there are different verbal languages, English, Spanish, and this and that, and Japanese and whatnot, there's also different forms of sign language. It doesn't matter. Find an interpreter, you assholes. And, oh, God. This sign makes no sense. They're saying it looks like a gun. It's like a... like this, or... I can't even do it. But it's more like this. Yeah, dude. How does that look like a gun? It shouldn't even matter. If this is a 3-year-old kid, and while I understand that kids are bringing guns to school, you can't tell the difference between a gun and a fucking finger? Come on. This, or I mean, that doesn't even matter. That should not be a problem. You should be able to tell the difference. But this weird sign they have a problem with, and they denied it too. Like, the father went to the school, and they're not giving out the names of the school district. I have yet to even see the name of this preschool, and I think I know why. Because one of the things that Jack Sheard said was because of privacy rules, we cannot directly address the Spanjer's complaint. That's nice. That's really convenient, isn't it? That you can't, because of privacy rules, that you cannot. Okay, here's the thing. I don't understand what Jack Sheard's situation is, because this is a preschool, and on LinkedIn, it shows him. He's a bald guy. He's not even really that old looking, although he's got the goofy ears. He doesn't look like your typical administrator. He looks too young for it, which kind of begs the question, how the hell did he become an administrator? I'd say there's a story behind there, because LinkedIn is saying that he's the new media director at the Grand Island Independent since 2005 to present. So he didn't update his LinkedIn file if this is not true anymore, because on Twitter he's passing himself off as the same guy, communication and marketing coordinator for Grand Island Public Schools. Something stinks in Denmark on that one. What does that mean? Communication and marketing coordinator? Are you taking the fall and cleaning the turd sandwich that the school board of Grand Island threw your way? I'm betting you are, but it's so dumb. Well, I'll tell you what, Jackie Boy, because I'm just going to refer to you as Jackie Boy. You and the school board just won yourselves the following. Well, you know what Jack Sheard says? He says, we are working with the parents to find the best solution we can for the child. The best solution for the child would have been not to do this. A 3-year-old deaf kid. But let's just go ahead and go over just how screwed you are, Jackie Boy, along with Grand Island Public School System and the Board of Education there. Because this violates the Federal Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. That's just for starters. Brian Spanjer, the kid's father, started a Facebook page, and there's a whole bunch of support there. Nice. Like, you're educators. You didn't think that social media existed and that this family was going to get a lot of support and that this was going to be a major news story? Come on. You're telling a 3-year-old child that he can't say his name in school, and he's a deaf kid. And also, this family has the support of lawyers from the National Association of the Deaf. I smell a big lawsuit, but it doesn't stop there. The American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, is involved and wants to help out. Ooh! We have the National Association of the Deaf and the American Civil Liberties Union. That's not looking good for little Grand Island. You idiots. You unbelievable idiots. And to top it all off, the whipped cream on top of the sundae that is going to be the disaster that you idiots created for yourselves. Howard Rosenblum, the CEO of the National Association of the Deaf, said, we are prepared to assist the Spanglers with legal action if necessary. So they're not just simply screwing around. They're not just simply going to be there just to scare them off. They are prepared. I would not want to be you. Okay, now according to to Grand Island School District's this stupid 8470 weapon rule, weapons in school, this is according to their own website and their PDF file. Students are forbidden to knowingly and voluntarily possess, handle, transmit, or use any instrument in school, on school grounds, or at school functions that is a firearm weapon or looks like a weapon as defined by the state of Nebraska criminal statutes. The federal laws found in Section 18 USCS Section 921 and in the Administrative Procedures for this policy 8470. Okay, 8470 would be this policy that they created, but they're basing this on Section 18 USCS Section 921 of Nebraska criminal statutes. That's the concern. Or looks like a weapon as defined by. So I scoured that thing, and it took a while because you know how laws, they take so long. This was very detailed, and under no circumstances does this even hint that you're not allowed to use your hands to signal something that even remotely looks like a weapon. Nothing in there in the whole thing. And this school district is basing it on this, and they have absolutely nothing to base it upon. They have no ground here. But it gets even better, because remember, they're saying, and in the administrative procedures for this policy 8470. What are the administrative procedures? Well, here it is. This policy shall cover, and I quote, any object or item which could be used to injure another person or whose clear intent is to resemble an item which could cause injury and which has no school-related reason for being in the school or on school grounds. Fingers and hands have a reason to be in school and on school grounds. Where did you idiots come up with this, and why? Why would you risk this? This was a lawsuit, a guaranteed lawsuit in the making, you buffoons. And this family deserves to take you to the cleaners. And where do you stop there? You can't use your fingers? What, are you supposed to detach your hands and put them in the weapons locker or the weapons safe or the gun safe at home? And the parents are supposed to lock it up, can't bring your hands? Or what's next? Something that looks like a projectile weapon. What, a boy's penis? Because think about it, you're at the urinal. Is that going to be considered? This is horse shit. It is total horse shit. And this school, even by their own wording in this 8470 situation, they have no clout. What was Jackie Boy in this school district thinking? What was this school district thinking? If they were thinking at all. These are educators, people. Grand Island, you need to seriously give this school district the swiftest kick in the ass. The superintendent, the entire Board of Education, everyone in the administration, not teachers, because this is a problem with administration. Unbelievable. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to cave. They know they have no ground. That's why Jackie Boy said, I can't say much. Yeah, because he knows they're screwed. Unbelievable. You don't do this to a 3-year-old, a deaf 3-year-old, and their family. Especially during the time of the national conventions for the election year 2012, the Republican Party certainly isn't going to be on your side. Remember, the Republican Party spent their first actual day after their postponed day due to Isaac. They want to abolish gun control, so they're going to have no problem. They're not going to support this. And the Republican Party is against big government anyway, well, supposedly, but they're not going to support this. They're not going to... The Republican Party is not going to come down on a 3-year-old deaf kid named Hunter. And the Democratic Party, even more so, they're not going to help out. The Democratic Party is known for favoring women and minorities and the elderly and the disabled. Oh, everybody, I think I speak for us all when I say WTF. But you know what? Take care. Have a good one. I wish this family the best and make an example of this school system.